Okay, we live. Um, we live. Make sure y'all put y'all name, city, and state. Mark you down for attendance. So, like, yeah, 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. All right, so lock it. You know what I mean? All right, so tonight is a Wednesday night biblical law class. I'm preaching officer of 1,000 Natazab. Yahweh Shemel Shah Bracket all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Tabah Shemel Shout all the sisters. So if you tuning in the class, make sure you put your name, city, and state so I can mark you down for attendance. You understand that that's very important for you to do. You know what I mean? Don't just sit and watch the video. If you watching class, make sure you put your name and city and state, Baba Kashab. So tonight is Wednesday night biblical law class. So we're gonna get into the law, obviously. But what I want to talk about today, it's a very important subject. You know, a lot of our people suffer from it in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian community. I want to talk about drugs. You know what I mean? I want to talk about how drugs have so badly our damaged us as a people. You understand? And whether it's weed, whether it's cocaine, meth, Percocets, all that is considered drugs according to God. You understand? So the first scripture I'm gonna pull is First John. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get a Exodus chapter 22 and 18. That's where we're gonna go. Let me see. Should I pull First John? I'm gonna go to Exodus. I'm gonna go to Exodus chapter 22 verse 18. And what I want y'all to know and understand is that like we are so badly damaged as a people that we look for a way to destroy ourselves. Like we so badly damaged as a people, like we have to find a way to unalive ourselves, to kill ourselves, to delete ourselves. You know what I mean? Because I gotta watch what I say on these people's platform because they will, clip the video. But we so badly damaged as a people, we always gotta find a way to kill ourselves, man. And that's exactly what drugs do. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, a lot of brothers and sisters that are on drugs and that suffer from drug addiction, they have a lot of trauma that they never was able to get counsel for and never was able to talk to nobody about. So the first thing that they did was go high and get drugs, go get high and go get drugs. You understand? Because they didn't know how to cope with whatever trauma that they was going through. 9 times out of 10, that's how everybody end up getting on drugs. You understand? And that right there has destroyed our people so much. Like not even just the trauma that we've been going through since the 80s when they put drugs in our neighborhood. You understand? They told you they was out here, they had a war on drugs, but you in your ignorance didn't know that that was actually war on black people. That was actually war on Hispanics and Native American Indians. Because the same people that said they had a war on drugs was the same people bringing the drugs inside our neighborhoods and destroying us. So you gotta be they like to be slick with words. That war on drugs was really a war on black people. But prior to that, we us as a people we suffer from so much trauma. You understand? And that's why we go get high. We go get the Percocets. We go get the heroin. We go get the weed. You understand? We go get, well, even liquor. A lot of us is drunks. You understand? And we can't seem to get out of this lifestyle or wanting to harm ourselves and kill ourselves. And that's because we so badly damaged as a people because of slavery. You understand? So first, I'm gonna get First John chapter 5 verse 3, and I want to explain to y'all what love is according to the Bible, not what you learned in the Christian church, not what your mom told you, not what your significant other told you. You understand? I'm gonna tell you what love is according to God, and why this is important is because if we knew what love was, we wouldn't pick up certain vices. We wouldn't look for it in places where it don't exist. You understand? Like drugs, like alcoholism. You understand? Like the LGBT community. We won't be looking for love in all these different places if we actually knew what love was. You understand? So I'm gonna go to First John chapter 5 verse 3, and it's by it's like for this is the love of God. So God is gonna tell us what love is according to the Bible. Because like I said, if we knew what love was actually according to the Bible, we would not abuse ourselves with cocaine and Percocets. Like I was watching DJU, who was a young brother who recently passed away, and he was on DJU snorting Percocets off the damn table. That's how badly we are damaged as a people. He was snorting Percocets off the table. You understand? So let's see what God said love was. It said, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. That's what love is according to the Bible. And why is this important for so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians to know and understand? This is important for us to know and understand because if we knew that love was an action word, if we knew that love was keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of God, we wouldn't look for love in a drug dealer. Your kids won't look for love in a Percocet or in a backwood with some Zion in it. We won't be looking for love in all these different places. We wouldn't be looking for love from our oppressor. There's so many different ways you can go to it. If we knew what love was according to the Bible, we wouldn't be in the state that we're in right now. But because of the Christian church, Black Hispanic, so-called Black Hispanic Native American Indians, we don't know what love is because we've been taught all our life that love is a feeling. It's something that you feel. It's that magical feeling that give you butterflies. You just feel it right here in your chest. We've been taught that's what love is. But what did God say love was? What did the Bible say? It said, "For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments." That's the love of God, that we keep His commandments. You know, we got so many brothers and sisters that suffer from drug addiction, and they end up losing their life because of, like, since I've been in the truth, so many people that I know, that I'm close to and know, or I didn't seen and had conversation with them countless of times. You understand? I didn't see so many people destroy themselves and unalive themselves because of drugs, because of the use of drugs. And a lot of times they so far gone and destroyed, they don't even want to be on drugs. They don't want to be on drugs. It's that they have no other way to cope with their trauma. And a lot of times we follow rappers. Like a lot of times you got people like Future that it made doing drugs popular. He made this popular and tried to attach being a drug addict to black culture. When in actuality, that's not black culture. Being a drug addict and a junkie has never been black culture. You understand? But you got rappers like Future who made it popular and made it a thing. But then you ask Future, he don't even do drugs, but he rap about it. He don't. He said he even said on an interview, he said, "I'm a lightweight. I don't even really dib and dab with the drugs." But all his music is Percocet with some strippers, codeine crazy, all these different songs. You understand? I seen a documentary with Juice World. One of the reasons why he was even on drugs is because he was listening to Future talk about doing drugs, and this is who he began to idolize and follow. So he thought that he wanted to be accepted too, so he gonna do drugs. But if we knew what love was according to the Bible, we wouldn't be trying to get accepted from the neighborhood drug dealer or the neighborhood rapper or comedian. We wouldn't be doing that. You understand? And that's why it's so important for you to teach your children what love is. Like you got to just imagine a society a society that black people built, where you didn't have to worry about your kid going outside and running into a drug dealer and thinking that, popping a perk and selling crack was love because he put some money in your pocket. You gotta imagine a society where you didn't have to worry about your kids becoming drug addicts and overdosing off drugs. You gotta really actually imagine a society where we didn't have that. You understand? And look, we can do it. That's what we've been doing in ISUBK. Yeah, I mean, like half the school probably was on drugs before they joined the school. I know. Prior to joining the ISUBK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under Commander General Yohana, I used to smoke all the weed in the world. You understand? I used to smoke all the weed in the world, no matter how much it made me paranoid and made my heart jittery. And you understand? And on top of that, I'm riding around with guns, I'm snorting cocaine, and I'm popping Percocets. I was doing all that, and countless other brothers was doing it. But then we realized that doing drugs is selfish, especially if you got family. Doing drugs is absolutely selfish because it don't just affect you, it affects your family. Like we watch you go through this change of being, bright, being smart, being regular. You understand? And then we just slowly over the years watch you just deteriorate to being, you know, the typical bum on the streets, the typical drug addict on the streets. And like I said, a lot of times brothers don't be wanting to be on drugs, but they don't know how to cope with whatever trauma that they experienced and was going through. You understand? They don't know how to do that. So the first thing they do is they look for a way out. You understand? They look for a way out. And in fact, I'm gonna get that. Where did it say that at? Because a lot of the times weed be the gateway drug. Where's that precept at? Salakia. Let me get that precept right quick. Is it Salakia, 1 second. I'll pull it in a second. Let me see. Yeah, I'll pull it. It's Matthew 7-13, but I'm gonna pull it in a second. You know what I mean? Weed is always that gateway drug. Like nobody just goes straight to just doing heroin. Nobody goes straight into just popping 10 Percocets a day. Nobody goes straight into just snorting a whole gram of cocaine. Nobody do that. You gotta ease your way in. And weed is that gateway drug that allow you to, slide through the cracks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because weed is so accepted that you think that there's nothing really wrong with it. You start off smoking weed, like everybody that's on hard drugs, they start off smoking weed because it's so accepted. They think nothing's wrong with it because it's accepted. It's normal in the black community. But then eventually that weed start to not work like how it usually work. So now you need Percocets. That Percocet ain't really working. So now you need Oxycontin. Oxycontin ain't really working like that. So now you need crystal meth. Now you need all these different things just to cope with everyday life. You understand? Because that's all weed is. Weed is what are you trying to escape from? Are you trying to escape from reality? You understand? And like the Lord gave my family. Let me pull another precept real quick instead of just talking. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Let me show you something right quick. Because this, like seeing my people destroyed like this, it really bothers me. Losing family members, losing friends, like it really bothered me, man. You know what I mean? All because it's a brother out there that decided that he want to get rich and not have to live in poverty and live in poverty. And he want to get rich off you being destroyed, so then he sell you drugs. That's a traitor. That's a traitor. You understand? Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Because, like, the Lord gave, if you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, what you have to understand is that the Lord gave you instruction. You understand? The Lord gave you instruction on how you are supposed to live your life. He didn't give the other nations instruction. That's why you go to these other countries and you look at these other people, man, They don't give a damn about their people. They don't give a damn about themselves. You can tell by the food that they eat. But if you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian, the Lord gave you instruction. You understand? And when you don't follow that, if you don't follow that instruction, that means you following somebody else. So who are you following? You following the people that oppress us. And following your oppressor is what gives him power. Like being a Christian, you understand that empowers your oppressor. That empowers the real ops. That's when you become Christian or Muslim, you empower the real ops. But the Lord gave us instructions and He gave us rules, and those rules and those instructions were to give us power. That's why when you read Deuteronomy 7:6, it said the Lord our God. That's the Lord our power. The Lord gave us. Matter of fact, let me pull that right quick. Deuteronomy 7:6. Let me go to Deuteronomy 7:6. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people to himself above all the people of the earth. So the Lord said, the Lord art in holy, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord of this Bible is our power. God translated in Hebrew right here is power. You understand? So like I said, the Lord gave so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian instruction. And if you don't follow that instruction, that who you following? Because you're not following yourself. You following your oppressor. You understand? And that's the problem with brothers and sisters that end up being on drugs. They thinking it's their decision. That's what they want to do. No, you following your oppressor. He put this in the road. You walk on this road. You walk on the road. He put this in the road and made it available to you. You understand? Your Christian pastor, he made it available and an option for you to become Christian and follow your oppressor. But when you become Christian, you give your oppressor power over you. You understand? That's what you do. And why would you do that when the Lord gave it? Like, what did you say? For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Like the Lord chose us. He didn't choose all people. He chose us to be a special people to himself. But you can't be holy and be special taking on the culture of everybody else. You can't do that. And that's why the Lord was so smart when he did this. Ooh, he was so smart. He knew that he had to sit, what did it say? It said above all people of the earth. The Lord knew that he had to put us above all people. He had to say it in the Bible that we was above all people, because if he didn't, guess what we was gonna try to do? We was gonna try to make ourselves equal to. We was gonna try to take a little bit of this culture, take a little bit of this culture. Like that's why if you ask black people where they from and what's their nationality, one gonna say black, one gonna say African, one gonna tell you he a Baptist, one gonna tell you Pentecostal, like this, like that. Like that's a goddamn identity. Because we so destroyed as a people. And this is why God was smart. He was smart by separating us, and that's what holy mean. Holy mean to be separate. He was smart by separating us and putting us above all people, because God knows there is no such thing as equality. You can you can't be equal to anybody. God knew by separating us and making us holy, you understand, and putting us above all people, he knew that was a good idea, because either somebody gonna be the head or somebody gonna be the tail. That's how smart God is. He already knew somebody gonna gotta lead, somebody gotta follow. So he said, scratch that. Y'all gonna be the ones that lead. You understand? Y'all gonna be on the top. But it's a stipulation. That's if we do what God said. And as of right now, if you Black, Hispanic, Native American, we are not doing what God said to do. Especially being on drugs and being drug dealers. You understand? But God said if we do that, we was gonna be above all people. So now you gotta look at the state of black people right now. Why aren't we above all people? Why aren't we separate? You understand? Because when the Chinese come over here, they got a Chinatown that's specifically for them. Every culture got a part of town. You understand? Certain schools and everything that's specifically for them. But if you Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian, we are inclusive. We include everybody into our culture, and in return, we destroy. So let me read what God, the instruction that God gave us. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5, Baba Gashah. And if you're tuning in, make sure you put your name, city, and state so I can mark you down for attendance. That's very important. You understand? Let me go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5, Baba Gashah. They said, let me start. Shall I start at 4? Oh yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 4. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 1. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you. See, like the Lord taught us statutes and judgments, and He told us to hearken into what He's teaching us. But you go to church and they teach you that the laws are done away with. Come as you are, and that's why brothers can never get off drugs. Sisters can never get off of drugs. They can't stop selling it. They can't stop snorting, smoking it. You understand? Smashing it down, putting it in their nose. They can't stop because we've been taught to come as you are. We're not being taught that, amen. The Lord gave us statutes and commandments. Just like the court of law, you go to court, you understand? They get to reading. It's like another language to you when you go to court. So we on the penal code 187, we have defendant multiple. Like you don't know what the hell is being said because you know what I mean. You ain't been taught that language. You ain't been taught that language. But that's where they got that whole statutes and penal code with you. They got that from the Bible. They got that from us. That's always been our culture. You understand? What did it say? Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and to the judgments which I teach you. But like you go to church, they not teaching you nothing. Being taught how to sing and dance and fall on the ground, that's nothing, man. You just making yourself look like a goddamn fool. That's not how you serve the Lord. But men back then, they was actually teaching the people something. What did God say? Now, therefore, hearken, O Israel. Not everybody. It said, O Israel, unto the statutes and the judgments which I teach you. Like, why are we not being taught in all these religious facilities and buildings what God taught us? Why are we not being taught that? What God said. We've been taught that disregard what God said because Jesus Christ died for it. Jesus Christ died for you to be a sinner. You can sell weed, sell cocaine, snort, sleep with prostitutes. You can do whatever you want. That's what they teach in the church. But what did God say? He said, which I teach you for to do them, that ye may live. The things that God set out for us, He said, if you do them, it's in your best interest to do them so you can live. Like right now, black people, we alive, but we not living. Like you got family members that's overdosing off fentanyl every other day. You understand? Losing their life before they even turn 30 years old, before they even turn 20 years old, losing their life. Popping Percocets that's fake. You understand? You losing family members. You're not living. And like I said, that's why doing drugs and being a drug addict is selfish because everybody suffers. They're just like going to jail. When you go to jail, everybody suffering. And guess what? Guess who benefit off you suffering? Everybody around you. Like you got somebody in your family that overdose off a drug. Guess who benefits from that? The coroner. You understand? The forensics, the ones that put you in a bag, the police, everybody benefit off it. The clerk, they gotta type everything that's going on. You understand? Guess what happened if you unalive somebody? The detective get paid, the state get paid, who else? You understand? The coroners, everybody get paid off you being destroyed. But you know what I'm saying? Your family not benefiting off of it, nor the victim's family. Because they gotta sit in the courtroom. You understand? No, they granny in the courtroom saying, "Oh, my grandson didn't do nothing. He innocent. I didn't raise him like this the whole time. You've been killing the whole neighborhood." But guess what? We wasn't taught what God said. That's why we live like that. Whole time she crying in the courtroom. They didn't call you a 4 pound. She's saying that all this must have been somebody else. My grandson don't do that. Whole time you the neighborhood drug addict. You the reason why Stephanie was unalive. You the reason why Tom died. You the reason why DeAndre died. You the reason why Jacob, all these different brothers. You the reason why, because you the neighborhood drug dealer. And they all been dying off of your batch of drugs that got fentanyl in it. But you know why we live like that? Because we not taught what God said. And because we not taught what God said, we don't fear him. You understand? We don't fear him. And the Bible said that's the fearing the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You understand? We're going to pull that in a second. But let's finish reading this. And it said, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. Verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. Verse 3. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did. Okay, I'm gonna drop down. It said, I'm gonna go to verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. You understand? If you look at the ISUBK, we cleaving unto the Lord our God. And that's why we alive today. Coming from the lifestyles that we used to live, you understand? We shouldn't be alive, especially according to the laws of the Bible. We should not be alive right now. You understand? But we was able to escape that and get that mercy because we repented and we changed our lives from living like that. And a lot of people don't get that chance. A lot of people don't get that chance. You understand? Let's keep reading. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. See, the Lord taught us statutes and judgments, man. And we supposed to do this in any land that we go to. The Lord didn't teach us religion. The Lord didn't teach us to sing and dance and clap and cry and have convulsions all on the goddamn ground in church. The Lord didn't teach us to come as we are. The Lord don't accept everything. If that was the case, he wouldn't teach us anything. The Lord said he taught us statutes and judges. The Lord taught us instruction. And with that instruction, it was supposed to give us power over everybody else. You understand? But what happened to that instruction? Why are we not empowered? Why is our oppressor empowered? You know why? Because we follow his culture. When you follow his culture, and guess what? He got holidays surrounding his culture to empower his way of life, like Christianity, Halloween, 4th of July, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. They got all these days that's set up around his culture to empower him. Where's your holidays that's set up around you to empower you? You got to find out what your culture is. You don't have anything that's set up to empower you. Christianity don't empower black people. Living how you want to don't empower black people or Hispanics. Doing what you want, that's not what empowers us. But it does empower your oppressor. Let me read that again. It said, verse 5, Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. No, I taught you that you can do what you want to do. It said, I taught you statutes and judgments. No, I taught you religion. You understand? I taught you, no matter what, Jesus Christ died for everybody. Do what you want. Whatever, every day above ground is a good day. Live how you want to live. You understand? That's not what God taught us, man. You understand? That's destructive to our people. You understand? I'm going to keep reading. And it said, Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sights of the nations. Like you see that the Bible said, God said, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom in the sights of the other nations. Meaning what? The other nations are supposed to see Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, and they're supposed to say, man, you know, we suffered through the heroin epidemic. You mean to tell me nobody in the Black community is suffering from heroin? Like, heroin ain't got so vicious. Doing drugs ain't got so vicious. They got people shooting horse tranquilizer in their veins, and their skin is falling off their goddamn body. You understand? Like somebody threw some acid on them or something. That's how far destroyed people is. Like, you go to Philadelphia, they out on the streets, and they shooting horse tranquilizer. That's the new drug, horse tranquilizer. Tranquilizers that they use to put 2-ton horses down. That's what people are shooting in their body. You understand? They get high. Insane. Let's read that again. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom in your understanding in the sights of the nations. Like, the other nations are supposed to look at Black people and Hispanic people and say, that's a wise people. They don't, not only do they not have nobody suffering from drugs, it's because they don't have no drug dealers. That's a wise and understanding people. Because drugs do harm. It destroys you. It destroys families. It destroys communities. It destroys cities. You understand? That's a wise and understanding people. They don't have nobody that do drugs or sell drugs in their communities. Other nations supposed to look at us. You understand? Because like contrary to popular belief, you understand, we are the standard of what a man is. Like back in the day, when you wanted to see a strong man, you looked at the black community. You looked at black men. But now it's not like that. You understand? Because we lost our way. We lost our way, man, trying to be like other nations. You understand? Yeah, like you ever had children and they being followers? Don't it irk your nerves? You looking at like, why is you being a follower? I raised you better. That's how the Lord looking at us. Why is you following them? You ain't gotta do. What is you doing? You understand? I'm gonna read that again. It said, behold, it's like what am I? Yeah, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sights of the nations. Like the other nations supposed to look at us as a community and say they wise and they're understanding. This is a smart people, but they don't look at black people like that. How are black people viewed in their own community by Chinese and Arabs that selling us food? You understand? By people, how are we viewed? We viewed as the lowlights, the people that can't get over slavery and lace our boots up by our bootstraps, the people that don't want to get a job, the people that's on welfare, lazy. You understand? The people that rob and steal and fight on camera and shake their behind on camera. Like we look like a low people to other nations. You know why? Because ain't nobody else doing it. You understand? And if they is doing it, they trying to copy us. You understand? Like who made this black culture? Who made you a woman pulling up, shaking her behind, telling you what color her posterior is and her vagina is? Shakes all on top of a car, shaking her behind with her tongue out. You understand? Who made this? Who made that black culture? Who made, King Von? Like I was just talking to Captain Nazalak Mishai yesterday, and it's crazy that we know all about King Von and who he unalived. We know all about Michael Jordan and how many points he scored, and we know all about these entertainers in the black community, but we don't know nothing about health. We don't know about no black people that, you know what I mean, that got health products to help you get rid of, certain cancers and liver disease and lung disease. We don't know nothing that black people do. We don't know no black doctors, no black engineers. We don't know anything black. Like who told us that this was black culture? This is ridiculous. You understand? This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Let's keep reading. Which shall hear, this is your wisdom and understanding in the sights of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Like they shall hear all our statutes and judgments. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to sleep with nobody's wife. You ain't supposed to sell drugs to each other. Oh man, you ain't supposed to, celebrate these different holidays. You supposed to keep the Passover. They supposed to hear what? Let's read that again. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. They're supposed to hear all our statutes and say, this is a wise and understanding people. Right now, they're not saying that about black people. They're not looking at us as a wise and understanding people. You know why? Because we don't have no instruction. We don't have no laws. We don't have no statutes. And we don't have no judgments for breaking those statutes and laws. You can do what you can come as you are, like you learned in the Christian church, and that's why they don't look at us as a wise and understanding people. But I guarantee they see the ISUBK, they look at us as a wise and understanding people. You know why? Because there are no drug dealers in here. Ain't nobody gonna sell your 10-year-old crack. Ain't nobody gonna sell your 10-year-old Percocets to make a quick dollar. You understand? Ain't nobody gonna overdose in here off no drugs. And let's say if it was for conversation, ain't nobody in here gonna accept no drugs. You understand? That's what type of community and what type of nation Commanders and Johanna are raised up. You see what I'm saying? And I guarantee other nations look at us and say, this is a wise and understanding people. Those people right there, with that all black on, the Mitris, with all them shields on their shoulders, them they wise right there. You understand? They wise. All right. And they said, For what nation is, and this is another thing they're gonna say. For what nation is there so great who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for. So they're gonna look at it, they're supposed to look at us and say, what nation is so great that they got God so close to them? Because what brings God close to us? By doing what he said, following his instruction. You understand? Living by the guidelines that empower us. That's how you keep God close. Because what did the Bible say? The Bible say the Lord don't hear the prayers of sinners. But what do black people do? We pray all goddamn day. As soon as somebody get unalive from a drug overdose, we pray to God. Oh man, God, what? You understand? As soon as somebody get shot down the street, we pray to God. Every situation that we in, we so late on our rent. Oh, we pray to God. We always praying to God, but we don't do nothing God say to do. It's just like you got to think like God is actually he's our father. And what would a father do if he got a disobedient, rebellious child? You go in the store, they jumping all out the cart, running all down the aisles, screaming and yelling and playing, and they, oh, daddy, can I have some candy? No, you can't have no candy. What the hell? No, you do not listen. No, don't talk to me about no candy, no snacks, nothing. When we get home, you getting a whooping and you going straight to sleep. You getting on the wall, something. You getting punished for sure. That's God. That's how God. We are his children. We the children of Israel. Who's our father? The Most High. You understand? You don't get to do what you want and expect a reward. Like black people out here living toe up. We out here destroyed. You understand? Meanwhile, we out here thinking we gangsters and pimps and hoes, we certified it. Who certified you? To do what? To destroy black people? Who certified you? Somebody with trauma? Because that's the only way somebody is certified you. You the big murderer on the block. You the biggest killer on the block. Who certified you? Somebody with trauma certified you. Who told you it was okay for you to be talking about some my vagina look like this, my butt look like that? Who certified you to be saying that? Who said this was okay? Somebody with trauma told you that. You understand? Or somebody that was looking to benefit off of it. And you got to understand it too. And that's why God said you gotta know the difference between. I mean, you gotta see when somebody's a wolf in sheep clothing. I say this all the time. Why? Because you gotta be incredibly deceptive. You gotta be incredibly deceptive to be a sheep and disguise yourself as a wolf. That's literally impossible. But if you can do it, oh, you slick. You slick. And I'm gonna tell you like this: if anybody can do that, it gotta be the white man. You understand? Because he is the absolute devil that the Bible speaks of. He is a liar. That's what devil means. It don't mean little red man in the ground. He's the absolute devil. And that's who will certify. That's who been certifying black people to live like this. That's who been telling black people that this is black culture. Well, meanwhile, we got this from them. This was never our culture. You understand? This was never our culture. We didn't get there selling drugs. That didn't come from us. You understand? Being a drug addict and a junkie, that didn't come from black people. Where you think this came from? That didn't come from us, bro. You understand? That came from our oppressor. And you got to understand the difference. Like, you can't beware of wolves in sheep clothing. There's a lot of wolves out here in sheep clothing, but you're not able to tell it's a wolf. You understand? That's why you need the ISBK, because we gonna tell you the difference. We gonna tell you the difference. Yeah, he looked like a sheep. He looked like he all sweet and nice until he crack a smile and show them teeth. You understand? But you're not able to see the difference, especially if you high. Especially if you're out here on drugs. You understand? Trying to escape reality. You ain't gonna be able to tell the difference, man. You so far going to remove, you think everybody's your goddamn friend. You know, let me keep reading. It said, for what nation is there so great who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I said before you this day? And God asks you, like, what nation is there that's so righteous that got all these laws, statutes, and commandments? Ain't no other nation that's righteous and got these statutes and commandments, you know what I'm saying, and these laws that God gave us. That's why the Chinese, then they made COVID-19 happen. They over there eating bats and pangolins. And then the earth stopped for dinner 3 years because of COVID. Because they want to eat things God said don't eat. You know why? Because God just told you. He asked the question, what nation got laws and statutes that's so good and righteous like y'all? This guy talking. What no, nobody got this. That's why we had COVID, because they over there eat monkeys and everything. If it moved, Chinese people gonna eat it. So like, they don't got these type of laws. You understand? The oppressor, everybody else, they don't have laws that's against homosexuality. That's why you can come as you are, do what you want to do. You understand? And then guess what? Black people have been happy about it. They've been trying to follow behind them. You 6'5" in a women's bathroom with a sports bra on, pissing on the goddamn seat. And all of a sudden women mad now because it's pissed on the seat. No, that's what y'all wanted. That's what y'all wanted. This nigga 6'5" with feet like Shaq in a woman's bathroom with a sports bra on, piss on the seat. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all gotta chill out, bro. Y'all gotta chill out. Let's read that again. It said, and what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law? It's 613 laws in the Bible. You understand? And we supposed to be keeping. Like, we keep the law. When you don't want to get that car towed, you put that. You see that police, even if you forget, you see that police, you gonna try to sneak and put that seatbelt on. Why? Because you don't want to get punished. You don't want to get a click it ticket and gotta go pay $400 fine. You don't. Matter of fact, you don't even want to get pulled over because you already don't got license. You already don't got insurance, so you definitely not trying to get pulled over. And then you know it's even a more bigger threat. He might unalive you. You understand? And say you was reaching for something. You don't want to go up again, but you fear him, but you won't fear the Lord and keep the laws that the Lord said you can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster, and pork. The Lord said you cannot sell drugs to anybody. The Lord said you cannot smoke weed. You cannot shoot heroin in your veins. You cannot snort coke. You cannot pop Percocets and Oxycontins and volumes. And you understand? You cannot do that. But you won't follow those laws. Well, when a president say you got to put that seatbelt on, you put it on. You understand? Let's say you don't fear him. Let's say you don't fear him. You put that seatbelt on because you know if you're doing 80 and you ain't got that seatbelt on and you crash, you're going to fly out that windshield and it's over with. You're doing 80 miles an hour and crash and you fly out the car, you're done. You know that. So what you do, you know, I ain't trying to go out right now. You understand? But do you know that the Lord kill and make alive? Do you understand that? Especially if you're not following his law, statutes, and commandments, man. You understand what it say? For what nation is there so great, Slakia, so great, who have God so nigh unto them? Oh, Slakia. He said, and what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments as all this law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligent, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart and all the days of thy life, but teach them for your sons and your sons' sons. So we supposed to be keeping what God said throughout all our generations. It said, teach this to your sons and your sons' sons. You're supposed to be teaching what God said to your grandchildren. You understand? And if you live longer than that, teach them to your great-grandchildren. That's what our God said to do. So why did it change? What happened? You understand? What happened? It went from, if you was a LGBT member or you was a pimp and somebody found out that you was pimping their daughters in the 50s and the 30s and the 20s, you gonna get unalived by God, by the damn whole neighborhood. You gonna get threw down a flight of stairs and get beat if somebody find out that you pimping their daughters. What happened to that? I ain't saying go hurt nobody, but I'm saying like what happened? We wasn't being taught the right thing because the Bible said if you've been being taught the laws of God, you're supposed to teach them to your sons, sons. We far removed from that. And that's why you got pimps in our culture. You got drug addicts, drug dealers. Like look at Swifty, Lefty Gunplay, if that's his name, Lefty Gunplay, Hispanic brother. You understand, Latino brother out there in LA. He a rapper. Every time he coming on a damn interview, he high out his mind, mouth twitching, he moving around, he can't stop moving. You understand? And this is what's being accepted in our community. This is what we accept, huh? Let me see. Let me just read that again. It said, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently. Yeah, man, you're supposed to keep your soul diligently, man. You understand? Lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen If you don't keep your soul diligently, if you don't stay on the straight path, you understand, you're gonna forget everything that you've seen. It's just like brothers that go to jail. You understand? And they end up beating their case and getting out. They've been down 3-4 years, or they beat a life sentence. And, they get out while they in there. They on the straight path. They diligent. They dealing. When I get out, man, I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna be on the straight path. I'm gonna leave them drugs alone, man. God give me a second chance. He give you a second chance, and then you get out. About a month later, you forget everything that your eyes seen. You forget being in that court, being shackled. You forget being called 4350X49, whatever your code was. You know what I'm saying? You forget all those things when really you shouldn't. You should tell your kids, hey man, this will come with it. And that's why, like, some of these rappers, I don't be understanding, they, having a platform like that. These entertainers too, having a platform like that. Like, it's crazy that you just rap about doing all these drugs and killing and doing all, but you don't tell them the other side to it. Like, you showing them, like, a quarter got two sides. They got heads and their tails. You telling them the tail, but you're not showing them the other side of the coin, where you 9 times of 90% that 90% of people that you understand that go out here and do these murders, they don't get caught. You're not getting away. You understand? 90% of people that sell drugs, they going to jail. They're not getting away. You understand? A lot of people that do drugs and not selling it, you're going to become an addict. You're going to be out here blowing rod for crack and Percocets. You're going to be out here doing things that you thought you would never do for drugs, or you just going to be unalive from overdose. Them are some horrible options right there, where you can just totally leave it alone. You can totally leave it alone. You see what I'm saying? I said, let me read it again. It said, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thine heart all the days of thy life. And that's what happened to black people right now. Everything that what God taught us, it departed from our heart. What is your heart? From your mind. Like, what's in this book and what God taught us, it should never depart from our mind. It should never depart. But it's departed because we've been being taught that, scratch that, come as you are. Yeah, that's the Old Testament. Do what you want to do. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Unless thou depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. We supposed to teach this to our sons and our sons, and that's why in ISUBK we raising our kids not gonna be on drugs. You know what I mean? Our family is not gonna be on. They're not gonna be the neighborhood drug dealer. And then we going in. We on the verge of war. Like, we literally on the verge of World War III, and you making Facebook statuses about, man, who got some perks, who got 3.5. I'm looking for some tree. This your Facebook status. This your Instagram status. Who got some gas? Who got some weed? Who got some perks? And we down on the verge of World War III. You trying to get high, and we down there finna go on World War III. Insane to me. While you trying to look for these Percocets and trying to go to different liquor stores because you went to this liquor store and they backwoods, you filling the pack. Oh man, why y'all backwoods so hard to steal? So you go to another store, look for some backwoods. While you doing that, they out here training for war. They out here literally training to go to war. Come on, man. This is insane, bro. And it said, okay, that was it on that. So let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let's get some more, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the whole conclusion. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. That's the conclusion of the whole matter. If you're trying to figure out what am I getting at right now, the conclusion of what I'm saying is fear the Lord and keep his commandments. You understand that if you're not fearing the Lord and keeping his commandments, keeping the culture and the instruction that he gave us, you following somebody else. You fearing somebody else. Like, you putting your fear, let me tell you what your fear is. Your fear is waking up and not having money for no weed. That's what you fear. Your fear is waking up and not being able to find a goddamn Percocet. That's what you fear. And that's a crazy fear right there. You fear waking up and not being able to get high. Like you so much of a dope fiend, you smoke 6, 7 blunts a day, spend all your money on it, and then you dismember the doobies and throw them in a swisher and smoke that too. And in your mind, you're not a dope fiend. That's insane, bro. That's absolutely insane. You understand? Like you so much of a dope fiend, you out here selling plasma. Now we was buying my daughter some clothes a few months ago, and then the plasma store is right next door. I let my rib going to do the shopping. I'm sitting in the car, and I'm like, damn, why is it it's hella bad. Like pretty females going there, his brothers going there. Why is there so many young people going there? What is that? I'm telling like back to back. I'm not knowing what the hell. I thought it was a cannabis club or something, cause they going back to back. And I look up, I'm like, no, that ain't no cannabis club. You know what I mean? Cause usually it said, man, I look up, man, it's a goddamn play, and they're selling blood. And guess what they selling blood for? Not to pay their rent. You understand? Not to get some food. You know, not to clothe their kids. They selling that goddamn blood to get high. Insane. That's mania. You selling plasma to get high. When they used to ask you what you wanted to be when you get older, I guarantee nobody ever said a dope fiend. Nobody said a dope fiend. I want to be the person that's selling blood to, you know what I mean? But I understand a lot of time people that go this far with it or even do drugs, they suffer from so much trauma. You understand? Like we so badly damaged other people, we gotta find a way to kill ourselves because of all the trauma that we suffer from. And that's why if you need any type of counseling, contact ISUBK. We will counsel. You do not have to do drugs, man. You understand? You ain't gotta go out like that. Contact the ISUBK. You understand? It's like 1 second.
Daddy.
What?
Mama, Saya was calling me that. Yeah, Mama.
Okay. You understand? So we're gonna scratch that, and I'm gonna go to Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. So like it might get a little louder. I'm at the crib right now. I'm supposed to be at the library, but didn't get a chance to get around to it, so it might be a little loud. Got the kids in here. So let's go to Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Like the fear of the Lord, that's the beginning of wisdom. But like I told you, you know what you fear? You fear not being able to find a Percocet when you wake up. You don't fear the Lord. What you should do, you should fear the Lord unaliving you. You going to get that Percocet, then boom, it's fentanyl in it. You die. You get put in a coma. You should fear that. You understand? But you don't fear that. You fear not being able to find a Percocet. You fear running out of weed and not having no money to go get more weed. You understand? You fear just waking up and having to face reality. And guess what? You don't gotta fear that. And also, if that's what you fear, look, you ain't gotta do it by yourself. Get in ISUBK. A lot of us, we didn't get off drugs just because we got in drugs because it wasn't allowed here. And we said, you know what, man, I want to do what them brothers is doing. You mean to tell me you was on drugs too? You was able to get off? Yeah, I want to do that because guess what? A lot of times you got brothers and sisters that go to prison and they not able to get rehabilitated. You understand? They just sober for the time being in there, and a lot of times they ain't even sober. Like when I went to prison, I'm thinking prison gonna be turned up. So when I got there, everybody was on dope. I'm on level 3, or they got Visine bottles, snorting heroin out the eye. They done poured the eye drops out and put some heroin and water in it and shook it up, and they on the yard snorting heroin all day. They in the room smoking meth off foil and in prison. You understand? And then you wonder why people get out like Lefty Gunplay and from fighting the life sentence and they still on drugs because prison ain't even a place to rehabilitate you. Only place that really can rehabilitate you is the ISUBK under Commander Junior Hunter. And I'm just being honest with you, bro. Like real talk. I'm literally being honest with you. You understand? But what did it say? Proverbs 9 and 10. It said, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's the beginning of wisdom. Fearing the Lord and understanding that you might go smoke that meth, pop that perks, and you try to get high off smoking some weed, and you might not ever wake up again. And your family gonna be destroyed because of it. You understand? You gonna wake up a goddamn baby, reincarnated. You gonna wake up a whole baby. You ain't gonna have no remembrance of your past life. Or if you sell it, you understand, you're going to have to raise your children from behind a glass window in prison. They will have to put their palm to the window like, hi, Dad. And you're going to watch them turn 5, 10, 15, 20, where they grown and they tired of coming up here and seeing you because you got a life sentence for giving somebody a fake perk that had fentanyl in it and killed them. They tired. You got to really think about what you're doing, man. You got to really think about what you're doing. But, you know, I'm going to pull my one more precept. Let me see. I'm going to go to Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 17. I'm going to get weed in the Bible right quick. Because I know a lot of y'all, where it say you can't smoke weed, I'm going to show you in the Bible where it say you can't smoke weed. We're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 8, verse. Matter of fact, let me go to Proverbs since I'm already here. I'm going to go to Proverbs. Proverbs 16 and 17. Proverbs chapter 16 and 17. Because weed, drugs, all of it is just a demon's way to try to destroy you because of your trauma. That's what weed is. And it's the gateway drug. You understand? Weed is always a way to destroy you because of your trauma, man. Let's go to Proverbs 16 and 27. And it said, an ungodly man diggeth up evil. You see that? So it said, an ungodly man dig up evil. What is this talking about? Somebody tell me in the comments what this talking about. An ungodly man diggeth up evil. Anybody know? For time's sake, I'm going to give it to you. It said, ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is a burning fire. What do all drugs have in common? Every drug. They all come from a plant. That's what they got in common. A weed come from a plant. Heroin come from the opioid plant. Cocaine comes from the coca leaves. Them is like the 3 main drugs. They all come, and guess what? All these new weed and these Percocets and volumes, and I can count all those are over the counter. They created them in the lab. You understand? They created them in the lab, but it's all supposed to be like a okay. Damn, I'm tripping. Kind of froze up on me a little bit. But what they have in common is that they all come from a plant. You understand? And what does it say about these plants? It said, an ungodly man diggeth up evil. An ungodly man, he dig that weed up to smoke it and get high. An ungodly man, he get the opioid seed and opioid plant, and he adds certain chemicals to make heroin. They get the cocoa leaf, chop it up, add baking soda, actually what you want. I ain't saying I know how to cook it and nothing. I'm sorry. But that's what they do. You understand? They do all that. But it all came from a plant. That's why I said an ungodly man dig up evil. They dig them plants up and create these drugs. And in his lips, there is a burning fire. And in his lips, there is a burning fire. You got people that smoke heroin. You got people that smoke weed. You got people that smoke meth. People that smoke crack. In his lips is a burning fire. That's what an ungodly man does. An ungodly man smokes. That's not what weed. That's first of all, weed ain't even for you to smoke. Weed is supposed to go in like tea or something. You supposed to eat it or something. It's definitely not to smoke. Anytime you put fire to something, it changes the natural use. You understand? It changes it. That's not what weed is for. But a lot of y'all start off smoking weed and y'all don't understand that that's the gateway drug. When people get high off these strong drugs, they didn't just out the blue just start snorting a pound of cocaine and heroin and popping perks. They all started with weed because weed is so socially accepted. You understand? That's why they call it the gateway drug. And a lot of people hear that, but they think that I never get on, I never. You understand? I never, and then you end up doing it. You understand? Matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get Matthews right quick. And like I said, man, it's so important this class because we all got so many brothers and sisters and cousins and family members that we know that overdosed off of heroin and passed away or drugs, and or that used to be somebody and they threw their whole life away. I seen this old video with this brother in the '80s said his first time smoking crack, he spent $50,000 and lost his job and everything because of drugs. You can't tell me this is a good thing, man. You understand? Let's go to Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. It say, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat." You see that it said, "Enter ye in at the straight gate." Like the straight gate ain't got, like I told you, weed is a gateway drug. You understand? So what you supposed to do when you at that gate and you got people offering you weed and making it socially accepted, you supposed to bypass them like, nah, man, I'm cool. And you supposed to enter into the straight gate. You can't enter into the straight gate high. You understand? That's why they call weed the gateway drug. But what did God say to do when you at the gate? Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Like the following the Lord, the gate to follow the Lord, it's a straight gate. But these other gates are wide. Like you go to the Christian church, they got big pillars, big wide double doors. You know what I'm saying? Wide is the gate that leads to the destruction. Then you go in there and what they teach you. Hey man, you come as you are, man. You continue to smoke. Ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. God made the green plants. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Sleep with who you want to sleep with. Do this, do that. And all of it is a goddamn lie, man. You supposed to enter in at that straight gate. You understand? It said, and many there be which go in thereat. And a lot of people enter in at that the wide gate. Many. Very few enter into the straight gate. You understand? Many enter at the wide gate because ain't nobody trying to stand in line, so to speak. You see the wide gate. Yeah, man, that's why we all can go in over there. We all can enjoy ourselves. I see everybody else going. A lot of times we just being followers. Everybody else going through the wide gate. I'm gonna go through it too. Shit, why not? You know what I'm saying? Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. See, the straight gate is the way that leadeth unto life. The narrow way is what leadeth unto life. And few there be it that find it, and only a few able to find this gate. But you go to the Christian church, they got big double doors, they got tall ceilings. You understand? They got glass windows with paintings. You understand? It looks beautiful. It looks wide and beautiful. They got a big audience. You seen TD Jakes church? You seen Joel Osteen church? It's big, man. But Christ just told you if only a few gonna find this gate. So why is it millions of church members? You understand? Why is it millions of them? It's millions of Christians on the planet. It's millions of Muslims. When Christ said only a few gonna find this gate. You understand? That's why I say you gotta beware of wolves in sheep clothing. Because if he can disguise himself, if a wolf can disguise himself as a sheep, he crafty. He's slick. Like who? Like the serpent in the garden. Like the serpent in the garden. You understand? And that's why you need the ISBK so we can tell you what to look for. You understand? You need the ISBK to tell you what love is according to the Bible. So then you won't go look for it nowhere else. You won't go look for it in your drug dealer. You won't go look for it in an OnlyFans account. You won't go look for it in homosexuality. You won't go look for it in popping Percocets. You understand? That's why you need the ISBK and the Commander Juliana, man. You understand? Let me see. I'm gonna pull one more. Matthew's the 23rd chapter. Matthew's chapter 23, verse 1, verse 2. Oh no, it's not the one. I think it's 18. I'm going to Matthew chapter 18. Let me see. Is it 18? I think 18 is the brotherhood. Is that it? No, that's not. I'm going to go back to 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. And we're going to end it on that. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. I can't even get it. So here it is. Okay, 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. And it said, I'm going to start at 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. So this is how you know you love the children of God. Who are the children of God? So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians. This is how you know that you love the children of God and you love God. If you keep his commandments, that's how you know your Christian pastor don't love God or love his people. He don't love the children of Israel because he told you that you don't have to keep the commandments. The laws are done away with. But I'm reading in the Old Testament in 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, it said, this is how you know that they love God and love the children of God if they keep the commandments. He told you that the commandments are done away with. And you wonder why your cousin on drugs. You understand? You wonder why your little sister got an OnlyFans. You understand? Because we've been taught and told and instructed that we don't have to do that. We don't have to do what God said. You understand? Verse 3, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. What does that mean? It's not hard to do. You understand? But what you got to understand is that you can't do it by yourself. It's hard to do it by yourself. You understand? But you can do it when you got brothers and sisters with you. With that being said, make sure you like and share the class. Yahweh Shimon Shabbat all the brothers. Yahweh Shimon Tabashimi all the sisters. Shalom.